So this bottom lines it, but to do this, in other words, we have to be for ourselves, right? We can be passive in life, we get pushed around, things happen, it doesn't really, help us. But on the other hand, if we act more like a hammer instead of being a nail as we approach our life, if we get on our own side, it doesn't mean we're against other people. It just means we're for ourselves. We're on our own team, as it were. Then we can actually do something for ourselves. It's kind of amazing to think about it. There's a general moral principle that the more power you have over somebody, the more duty you have to them. Hey, who's the one person in the world you have the most power over? It's your future self. Who that person will be, how that person feels, how successful that person will be, that's in your hands more than in the hands of any other person on the planet. And who it will be depends on how you care for it every day. It's really funny. If you go through life, right, here's where we start, kind of here's where we end, hopefully with a lot of fun in the middle or in between. At any moment in time, you kind of have a short list of options. Do basically, what can I do in this moment? You can't do anything about the past. We can't do anything about the present moment. But in the present moment, there's a range of things we can do to make the future better, right? The range goes up or down depending on what the moment's like. At any moment, are we working at the high end or the low end of the range of what's possible to make our life better in the future? And how our life turns out depends on what we do 1,000,000 times in those little ranges. If we don't do much in those little ranges to make our life better, we don't have much of a learning curve over life, or it's a shallow learning curve. But if we work at the high end of that range, moment by moment by moment, day after day, minute by minute, there's a saying, if you take care of the minutes, the years will take care of themselves. If we work at the high end of that range, then we really take off as we go through life. One of the fundamental ways to do this is to take good care of your brain. So here's kind of a final list here of things you can come up with to take care of your brain. Mr. Cullen helped me come up with this list, and I want to also particularly thank him. He's a dear friend of mine and a wonderful guy, and you may not realize it, but it's very fortunate that he's here. So I just talked about taking in good experiences as the day goes by. Also, a lot of research has shown that if you just kind of count your blessings, you sort of think about the good things, even just come up with 3 at the end of every day before falling asleep, it can really, really change you. As I said earlier, you lose 10,000 brain cells a day. One drink kills 10,000 brain cells. It does it by depriving them of oxygen. The buzz we sometimes feel from drinking is the feeling of brain cells drowning. All right? Regular exercise actually builds new brain cells. It's been recently found that brain cells are indeed born in the brain, and that exercise particularly promotes their growth. Brain needs lots of water. Like I said, you could pop it open, pop the top, right? Stick a spoon in and stir it around and scoop out. Don't do it. It's not a good idea. But, it's really gushy. Well, it's water. If the brain's not really saturated, a little pun here about liquidate, the brain doesn't function as well. Interestingly, kindness and generosity really, really help the brain, partly by pushing down chronic stress. Kind people actually live longer. Isn't that interesting? It's not just that they're happier or they have more friends. They actually live longer. Meditation, major, it's how can I put it? Meditation is the brain what aerobic exercise is to the heart. It's just kind of a fundamental, simple, ordinary practice. Millions of people do it. It has all kinds of benefits. And then last, social support. If you're having a hard time, talk to somebody. So I appreciate this chance to talk with you today. And I think the takeaway point is that there's lots of stuff you can do. There's lots of stuff anybody can do. People will do different things. That's perfectly fine. Do what suits. But the bottom line is that you have the power over time to change your brain, to change your life. So thank you.